Well, hello
Hiya.
everybody, and welcome to Horizons Seniors Pastors Update. We're recording
Seniors.
this.
Seniors, pastors.
What did I say?
Said seniors. Sign of the times.
Oh yeah, feel like a senior this week.
Don't worry about it.
Senior Pastors Update. I'll record on the 5th of August, and no cushions, no mugs, because we're actually in Wales.
Just for a few days.
Things had
Small
to change
days.
around. You see, I'll talk a little bit more about flexibility in August, but we had the funeral, which again I'll say a bit later when Dave's said something. We were supposed to go away with Andrew and Caris a bit later after they've celebrated their anniversary, but because Manchester's in lockdown, we had to switcheroony our arrangements around. So if they went home, they couldn't come out again.
They're stuck.
And probably the schools would have gone back, so we wouldn't have been able to take the boys away like we wanted to. So we had to be flexible. So
Squeeze in these 4 days.
so we're coming from a log cabiny type thing in Wales somewhere. Anyway,
Okay, but we're still here.
Dave,
so,
Judith,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah, good
Seniors,
good to
pastors.
be here. um, I think it's important as the kind of experience that we're having continues. We really need to keep ourselves strong and healthy and fit in the things of God. The limited activities that all churches are experiencing at the moment, unable to meet effectively and do what we want to do, it does take a toll. I know that people who are stuck indoors for all sorts of reasons, it is taking a toll. And I'm hearing about people not in our church or anything, but even church leaders who are really suffering at this time, because it is a tough time in many, many ways. But I think it's important to be encouraged and to draw on the things that God can give us, because this morning I just want to say how important it is on being a tree, not a bush. Being a tree, not a bush. In Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5, it says, "This is what the Lord says: Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who depends on flesh for his strength, and whose heart turns away from the Lord." There's a tendency for us to trust in people and in men and in circumstances and trust in our means. But it says that doesn't work, because it says this: he will be like a bush in the wastelands. He will not see prosperity when it comes. He'll dwell in the parched places of the desert and the salt land where no one lives. And the point is about a bush in the desert, when its circumstances are adverse, when there's drought and it just dries up and it dies. But it then says, "Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him." And if there was ever a time, folks, when we need to keep our confidence and our trust in God, it is right now. Because it says this: he will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots into the stream, into the water. It doesn't fear when the heat comes. Hey, the heat's on at the moment, isn't it? But the tree that's got its roots in the river doesn't worry about the heat. It doesn't fear. And its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. A year of drought, it feels like a year of drought that we're in at the moment. But people of God, church, Horizon, whoever's listening to this, we can draw on God and draw on his resources. You know, it's possible for our hearts to turn. It says about turning from the Lord. And I don't think any of us want to sort of walk away from God, but it can erode us when we're not getting that fellowship, when we're not getting encouraged or like we should do or could be. There's a little bit of a tendency we can turn away, kind of wander a bit from God. God doesn't leave us, but we can actually leave him. Our hearts turn, and we have to be careful about that. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves in a wasteland and find ourselves without the resources to survive, because we're depending upon the environment that we live in, and it's not raining, folks. But the tree planted by water It's a person who trusts in God. And that's a choice that we can make by following Jesus. We don't fear the heat, as I've already said, and we don't worry in a year of drought. You know, it's not our situation that counts, but in whom we trust that really counts, and upon whom we draw. I've got to admit to you, sometimes I get a bit, ask this lady. Yeah, I do sometimes, because we're all the same, but I draw on the life of the living God. I put my roots down. I choose to trust in Him, draw on Him, because that's what comes up and fills my life and gives me the strength to survive. You know, there's a famous vine at Hampton Court Palace, and it's in kind of a greenhouse, but the roots go down and they draw on the River Thames, which flows right next to it. And it doesn't care if it rains or not. It doesn't care if there's a drought or not, because its roots draw on the river, the mighty River Thames, and it never goes thirsty. It draws on that wonderful resource. And you know, we're called, no matter what the situation, to draw upon Jesus. Jesus called himself the true vine in John 15, and he says that if we are committed and connected to him, we will bear fruit. We will have good lives, meaningful lives, not because we're better than anybody else, but because we are drawing our life and our strength from Jesus. And I want you to know that Jesus, he is the tree of life. He is the one who passes the life of God through faith in him to people who trust in him. And as we are connected to one another and connected most of all to Jesus, we will draw on the resources of God no matter what is going on around. In this year of drought, we will be strong and we will get through it, and our leaves will be green. Let's draw on the living God, shall we? Let's trust in Jesus at this time. You know, there's that song, isn't there, that you can get on YouTube, The Blessing. It's meant a lot to us, actually. And the one where all the churches are taking part. Right at the very end, it says, our buildings may be closed, but the church is still alive. And so are we. God bless. Be encouraged. Keep committed to him. Walk in his presence. And we'll win.
And a bit of church family news. And practically from what Dave's been saying, you know, a lot of you know that it was my dad's funeral last week, and thank you for all the prayers and concern and messages and cards and things we've had from people. And you know, people have looked at us and said, well, how can you be so peaceful? How are you still all together? All this is happening. It's because we're drawing from the wells of salvation. We're drawing from the hope. We're drawing from the eternal perspective of our lives. We've said goodbye to Dad's body that held the real Dad inside, who is now with Jesus. We have an eternal hope. We draw on that hope, which is why we're sad, but the Bible says we don't sorrow like people with no hope, because we have massive hope. We are going to see him again. So thank you for all of the people who supported us at this time, and look out for the link if you want to catch up with the service. It was 30 minutes, that's all we had. We managed to pack 88 years of his life into 30 minutes.
Made the most of every second.
Yeah, we did. It was good, and the family did good. Another update. Rick has sent me through for last Sunday, but obviously we weren't live on air then. Very positive news from Grace. She's doing very well. In fact, the staff say she's doing brilliantly. She was off the ventilator for 3 hours the day that this was sent, and she's getting stronger every day. The doctor is really, that's 2 reallys, pleased with her. They tell me she'll be able to speak next week, which is this coming week probably. A special valve will be fitted to a tracheotomy tube. Grace is very enthusiastic when she's doing her physio. She's sitting on the side of the bed every day, although she's assisted with this. Thank you very much for thoughts and prayers. So that's really good news on grace. Last Sunday we were able to, we didn't have a live service, but we were able to meet in the David Weir, the grassy area just in front of the David Weir Centre, from 12 to 2. The people that came said they really, really enjoyed seeing people, not on a screen, but actually in person. We were obviously socially distanced, and some people had picnics, some people just walked up, dropped in, said hi, skirted around the outside. Somebody brought their dog to walk and meet the kids. So, that was successful. And I know some people have said, oh, well, we didn't know, so we'd arranged to do this or that or the other. Some people managed to forget. So we're going to do it again this week. The weather is looking good. In fact, it's looking very good. We might have to find a tree or two to shade for people that don't like the sun. Between 12 and 2 this Sunday at the David Weir Centre. There's a car park there. You can park your car if you're driving. And it's on good bus routes, so you come on the bus, wear your mask, and we will be there. So you can bring a picnic lunch. You can just drop in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just see people. It's just great to make some contact and catch up face to face. And regarding drawing from God, you do need to take personal responsibility from that, because we can't be meeting together. But we will be, you need to be flexible, because you need to be keeping your eye out on the emails and on the social media from Horizon, because some Sundays we'll do this, some Sundays we'll do another. It depends on the weather, it depends on people, it depends on technology. As you know, we're giving our tech team August off. They well deserve it. And so we are going to ask you to keep your eye on those emails to see where we are, because if it should suddenly rain, then grandson's just come in, then we may need to change it. So you need to be nifty, nimble, flexible. August is all about being flexible. Like the early church, they didn't have a church building and stuff. They had to be working out where they were going to be, where they were going to meet in. So we're asking you to be that. We're asking you to keep in touch with each other. And if something changes or something comes on the social media, let your
spread
people,
the word.
Let your people in your circle.
We can't just rely on emails or even
with.
whatever else, but we've just got to
use the phone.
Yeah, do it, please.
Yeah. So there you go. So be flexible. Keep your eye. Please open those emails. Look at them every day to check that there's some stuff gone out to keep Horizon together.
So even though there's no Sunday morning, at least we've had a few thoughts this morning. A message from the Bible that I hope will have encouraged you. So
and also all those are still on YouTube. You can go on Horizon Church's YouTube channel or Facebook, I think, as well, and get them from there. So if there's like a sermon, you think, oh, do you know what? I'd like to listen to that again. Even the worship, go back and press replay and have a look at that. So dig deep, get those roots down.
Tune in to Dave for repeats.
That's a joke. It's
just
time
to say
go.
We are in Wales right now. Not for long. We're coming home very soon. But everything's dual language over here. I'm just wondering, are we required to do a Welsh language version?
Do you have to say goodbye in Welsh?
No.
Ta-da? Oh no, that's Liverpool.
Don't know.
We're nearer Liverpool than we are home.
Cymru am byth means Wales forever, I think.
Okay.
Hey, God bless you all.
Typical Wales. I can see some low cloud stroke drizzle drifting in.
Ethan, come round here, mate. Please. Ethan.
Oh, I don't know if he's allowed to be on social media.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I think he's all right, isn't he?
I don't know.
Have we never got one of these?
His granddad's been catching moths at night and showing the boys, and now Ethan's got a granddad's moth book and he's asking whether he's seen all of these things.
All right, we'll keep him out of it, but he's
just
here.
in case we haven't had the form signed for him to be on social media.
But we are his grandparents.
Anyway,
God bless you. Have a great week and
see you Sunday.
Hope to see lots of you on Sunday.
Yeah, come on.
It's worth the effort.
If you don't want to get out of the car, you could do a drive by. At least you could see people. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.